Good morning, wet shavers, coffee lovers, and podcast listeners everywhere. It's Mark with GeorgeToon.com. It's time for another second cup. So grab a cup of coffee, kick back, relax, put on your earbuds, adjust your speaker volume, and let's talk some wet shaving and a few other things in podcast form. In case you didn't know, Second Cup is a podcast that will give you some additional information that didn't make the Monday morning mailbag deadline. This might be something that is time sensitive. For instance, a sale that could be ending before the next 3MB airs, or a piece of late-breaking information that viewers have passed along that is equally time sensitive, or something else regarding the wet shaving world that needs to be broadcast in a timely fashion. And we'll also have some time to chit-chat and discuss some other things like coffee, movies, streaming shows, books, that sort of thing. So thanks for tuning in to Second Cup. And I hope you subscribe to the podcast, where you can also find episodes of the Monday Morning Mailbag in podcast form. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. We'll get the show underway in just a moment. Thanks for joining me. Well, good morning and welcome to the March 6, 2023 episode of Second Cup. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. I have got 8 o'clock coffee. Yeah, right here. This is a great, basic, go-to kind of coffee. It's terrific. The label says sweet, fruity, and well-balanced. It absolutely is, and I'm enjoying it in my Ohio coffee mug that I received from viewer John Kaczynski. Thank you very, very much, John. It has all 88 counties in full color right there on the mug, along with the state of Ohio flag and the Buckeye State. Yeah, that's home for me, absolutely. And here in Northeast Ohio, in Chardon, we're kicking off maple syrup season. That's right, March is the month for maple syrup. We have pancake breakfasts all over the area at high schools and churches and firehouses, and it really is a special time. Plus, we have St. Patrick's Day coming up very, very soon, and we're going to get into a little bit of that kind of discussion here this morning. So again, I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. And thanks so much for tuning in to Second Cup. I really, really do appreciate it. As we mentioned, with March comes St. Patrick's Day, and we always have a great discussion regarding the various soaps and scents out there to celebrate that day of the wearing of the green. And I got a very interesting email from viewer Joseph Shamas regarding that. And he wrote, "Hi, Mark. Welcome to March. Time for some Irish tweed scents. Wanted your take on a couple of soaps that you have reviewed. How do you compare PAA's Twee to Sterling's Sharp Dressed Man? What about longevity of the scent for each?" Great question, Joseph. Let's back up a little bit and give the folks a little bit of history on this. Now, Sterling's Sharp Dressed Man and PAA's Twee are both based on or an homage to green Irish tweed. Now, as Sterling's product page notes for Sharp Dressed Man, patterned after the famous green Irish tweed scent that was created for Cary Grant. Yeah, now I love Cary Grant. I absolutely love him as an actor. I love all of his movies. And you've heard me mention before that my favorite Cary Grant movie is North by Northwest, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. If you have not seen that movie, make it a point to get it on streaming, buy the DVD, in the highest definition you can. Watch it on the biggest screen with the best sound system you can. Make some popcorn, kick back, and get ready for an absolutely fabulous, fabulous movie. Really, really wonderful. The movie is already over 60 years old. It still holds up in many ways. It's a fantastic, fantastic movie. That's just an aside. So when you look at Cary Grant, you'll immediately see what the green Irish tweed scent is all about, really. Now, having said that, this is what Phoenix Shaving's product page has to say about Twee. When it dropped in 1985, meaning the Green Irish Tweed scent, when it dropped in 1985, it took the fragrance world by storm. Similar to cool water, yet more complex and, dare I say, even more masculine. Worn by the likes of Cary Grant, Sinatra, Clint Eastwood, and even Ozzy Osbourne, if you can believe that. Needless to say, this fragrance is pretty epic, if not badass. So there's kind of an overview of the scent and the homages from both Sterling and Phoenix Shaving. And it really is a terrific, terrific scent. Either one of these is a great selection. Perfect for the month of March with spring just starting to burst out. And if I can compare the different subtleties of each one, to my nose, Twee is perhaps a little lighter, higher scent on the scale, so to speak, whereas Sharp Dressed Man seems to have a slightly deeper note to its scent. I don't know if that makes much sense, but Sharp Dressed Man seems to be a little more refined, a little more sophisticated, perhaps, and Twee seems to be a little more outdoorsy to my sensibility. Let me explain it to you this way. Twee has this really, really fresh outdoor, rural kind of complex scent to it, whereas Sharp Dressed Man really exudes something like an evening night out in a tuxedo, city life, that sort of thing. So I would say that Phoenix Shaving's Twee is more outdoorsy, more rural, more open, and Sharp Dressed Man, really that's a real perfect name for it, is more evening out in the city kind of thing. Black tie, tuxedo. That's really the way it impresses me. Sharp Dressed Man. Now, either one of these is perfect for an evening out. It's just that I think that Twee has a little more freshness to it. When I say lighter, I mean higher scent, just a little higher scent. And Sharp Dressed Man is a little lower on the scent scale. They're both very, very similar. You could use these interchangeably. You could shave with Sharp Dressed Man and grab Twee Balm to follow up with. Absolutely no problem. And vice versa. You could shave with Twee and grab some Sharp Dressed Man aftershave splash. That's how they impress me. So the differences are very, very subtle. I just think that Twee is a little fresher, a little more outdoorsy, whereas Sharp Dressed Man is a little more inside. That's probably the way to put it. Inside, city. You're dining out, whereas Twee is really more outdoorsy. That sort of thing. So one is country, one is city. They're both very, very similar, and the differences are very, very subtle. But you can use them interchangeably. And I really do enjoy them both. So that's kind of how I make the distinction there. One is a little fresher and higher, which is the Twee. One is a little lower and a little more indoors. One's outdoors, one's indoors, and you can use them interchangeably. Now, interestingly enough, I got a message from Mark Bagwell regarding Creed fragrances. Now, he Googled a message of who owns the Creed fragrance perfumery. And Women's Wear Daily had this article online a couple of years ago, Dateline London. After more than 250 years under family ownership, Creed fragrances have been sold to BlackRock long-term private capital and Javier Ferran, the Spanish businessman and chairman of Diageo. Olivier Creed, the sixth-generation owner of the company, will remain master perfumer, while Ferran will become chairman of the company's board of directors. Creed's son, Erwin Creed, will also remain involved in the business. Now, how about that? Now, in case you are interested, Creed not only introduced Green Irish Tweed, but they also have and introduced their very, very famous Creed Aventus. So those are the two scents that they're most well known for, as I understand it. And Mark Bagwell also pointed out that Sharp Dressed Man is inspired by Green Irish Tweed. Executive Man from Sterling is inspired by Creed Aventus. So if you are looking for either of those scents, an homage to either of those scents from Sterling, Sharp Dressed Man is an homage to Green Irish Tweed, and Executive Man is inspired by Creed Aventus. And Phoenix Shavings Twee is an homage to Green Irish Tweed. Any of those are fantastic for the month of March, St. Patrick's Day, spring upon us. They're just fantastic, fantastic scents. And it's going to be a coin toss as to which one, Sharp Dressed Man or Twee, that I'll be using for my St. Patrick's shave. I'm probably leaning towards Twee, to be honest with you, because I have the balm, the Star Jelly balm, and the aftershave splash. But I'm also going to point out that, again, you can swap them out if you wanted to, because they're very, very similar. But I like them all, and I absolutely, absolutely love these scents, both the Green Irish Tweed and the Creed Aventus. Really, really terrific, terrific scents. So if you're looking for something for March, look to Sterling for either Sharp Dressed Man or Executive Man or Phoenix Shaving Twee. They're all up there and for sale, and I'll have links below. So thanks very much, Joseph and Mark. Really do appreciate it, gentlemen. Before we move on, I also forgot to mention in North by Northwest, there is a very, very funny, humorous shaving scene featuring Cary Grant. The setup for it is really quite funny. And then when you see the scene itself, then you understand why the preliminary setup. But I won't spoil it for you, but just look for it because it is a very, very, very funny scene. And I remember when I first saw it, and I saw this movie when I was a teenager, and I happened to see it on a big screen, and it just left a lasting impression on me. It's a fantastic movie. It really, really is. And I make it a point to watch it every single year, as well as another movie we'll be recommending at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. But North by Northwest, starring Cary Grant and directed by Alfred Hitchcock. I wanted to mention the shaving scene before I forgot, so if you're going to sit down and watch the movie, look for it. Okay. Well, I received an update from Blackland Razors in my email regarding some new happenings in the company, new offerings that they have. And I wanted to mention a couple that were standouts to me. The first one was bundles. Now, this is a way to get a razor with all the accessories and save some cash. So you can select a razor, the base plates, razor blades, a stand, that sort of thing, put it all together and save some money. So that's rather a nice approach is what I'm saying. It's a really nice approach to where you can get a Blackland razor and save some money. Now, I've got a couple of Blackland razors. I have the Blackland Era, which was because I don't make it anymore. That's why I'm using past tense. This was a 3D printed and CNC machined razor. I'm holding it in my hand right now. And it came with, it didn't come with. There were 5 different plates available with a closed comb and 5 different base plates with an open comb. So 10 base plates, 5 closed comb and 5 open comb. And you could then configure your razor however you wanted to. You could buy the razor and then get as many base plates as you wanted. Now, when I selected mine, I got it with the number 3 base plate because it was right there in the middle. And as far as aggression, and I thought that would be enough, and it really wasn't. I mean, it was okay. It was a mild shave, but I wanted it to have a little more oomph. And viewer Alex Lopez very, very kindly sent me along the number 4 plate. And that's what I use now. The number 4 plate is just wonderful. It sinks. It is just a terrific, terrific razor. And I'm very glad that I have it. Again, it's stainless steel. 3D printed and CNC machined. It really was kind of a breakthrough in manufacturing safety razors because they tried a different approach, and I'm glad they did. And really a terrific, terrific razor. No longer made if you happen to come across one, regardless of the base plate that it comes with. Snap it up. It's a really terrific razor. It really, really is. Very, very well made. And I will say that I wanted to get a couple of more base plates, an open comb base plate with maybe the same aggression as the number 4 and maybe a closed comb like number 5 base plate. And unfortunately, no longer available. If you know where I can get those base plates, please drop me a line because I'd be really would be interested in trying them out. The other razor that I have from Blackland is the Dart. This is another one that they made. It went away, and then they brought it back for a limited run of I think 200. And they were all numbered, and they came with a numbered stand, completely stainless steel. And I have number 136. So my stand says 136, and the razor says 136. This is on the aggressive side. I don't think this is a daily driver for me. But boy, oh boy, if I have, say, 3 days worth of beard growth, 2 to 3 days worth of beard growth, this is really going to mow it down very, very efficiently. It is nice and smooth. Now, I can't remember if I've ever done a review on this. I'll have to look at my archives and see if I've done a review on the Blackland Dart razor. But I was very impressed with the machining of it, how it's put together, and the really aggressive shave that it delivered. It was very, very aggressive and efficient, but there was a nice smoothness there as well. Had to lighten up on the touch, but definitely a keeper. Not a daily driver for me, but if you have a more demanding beard, the Dart would be the razor for you. Now, I don't know if they're ever going to bring it back, but they do have a lot of nice razors up there. And the Era and the Dart are the only two that I have from Blackland. And based on those two, I can recommend Blackland razors. They make a wonderful, wonderful razor. Now, the other thing that they have that they've introduced are shave towels. And you know that I'm always on the lookout for a great shave towel for my shave, not only for my hot towel cabinet, but for just a post-shave routine and drying off and that sort of thing. And as they write here in their email that they sent out to customers to alert them of their new offerings, under shave towels, they wrote, "Our shave towels are just about done and will be available for sale around mid-March. These are 100% made in the USA and fully cotton. Look, they're just towels, but we're still proud of them." Well, you know what? I saw the video release, and I will link to that. The towel is shown, and it looks like it's got the logo of Blackland Razors right there on it, and it looks to be a nice shave towel. So I'm looking forward to checking those out in mid-March. And once they launch, we'll probably talk about them on the Monday morning mailbag as well. But I want to kind of give you a sneak peek of not only their bundles that they're offering for their razors, but also their shave towels. So that's kind of an update from Blackland Razors. Speaking of razors, viewer Wally Penkowski wanted to know the difference between the Rockwell 6C and the Rec Supply Council Slant Adjustable Razor. And he wrote, "Great video, Mark, and great review. Just curious, how does this compare to the Rockwell 6C?" Now, he left this comment in question in the comments area of the review I did on the Rec Supply Council Slant Adjustable Razor. And I wrote him back, and I'll share my answer with you all. You really can't compare the two. They're two different razors. Now, I have the 6S. I don't have the 6C. The 6C is the chrome version, and the 6S is the stainless steel version. Now, this is Rockwell's adjustable, and I'm using air quotes there, adjustable razor, in that you have different base plates that come with it that you can then interchange on the handle to give you different levels of aggression. So you have a plate that is level 3, and level 1. And just by flipping it over from one side to the other, you can adjust it from level 3 to level 1. So for instance, if you're doing a shave at level 3 and you do your first 2 passes, you can then undo that handle and then flip that base plate to the number 1 side, and then screw the handle back on, and now you've got a milder shave. And you can do the same thing with the 2 and 4 plate. It's a level 4 aggression on one side and level 2 aggression on the other side. And then, of course, they have a third plate, which is level 6 on one side, level 5 on the other side. Now, I have used the 1-3 plate and the 2-4 plate, and I really enjoy my shaves with the Rockwell 6S using those 2 plates. I've not used the 5 and 6 plate because I'm thinking that those are going to be probably a little too aggressive for me. But number 4 is plenty of aggression. Maybe even a little too much at times, but I seem to have settled on the number 3 plate and flipping it over to number 1 to kind of finish things off if I want to do a third pass or touch up, that sort of thing, depending on how much beard growth I have, obviously. And the number 3 plate rather, recommended by Rockwell for head shaves. And I have used the number 3 plate for head shaves, and it is marvelous for head shaves. Absolutely. That number 3 plate for head shaves is absolutely spectacular and spot on. Now, having said all that, the Council slant adjustable razor is a completely different animal. First of all, it's adjustable. You have that smooth, continuous adjustment dial that goes from 1 to 6. So you can adjust it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or anywhere in between 5.5, 3.2, 2.6, this sort of thing. So you have these very, very minute variations in adjusting the aggression level. The next thing that sets it apart from all the other razors that I've tried, especially adjustable razors, is the slant blade in there, the slant configuration. If you've never shaved with a slant razor, pick one up. There are some really nice affordable slant razors out there. Parker makes a semi-slant, and Icon makes a terrific slant razor. Check that one out. I've used that. That's marvelous. And and then also the Monster slant razors from Phoenix Shaving. These are plastic razors, but boy, they're terrific as far as slant razors. And also their Alpha Ecliptic slant razor. Little different configuration in how the razor is slanted in the razor head, but still a slant razor. A slanted blade gives a different kind of feel and shave. Everyone, when folks talk about it, they liken it to the edge of a guillotine. It's, the guillotine is angled like that. Same thing with a slant razor. So it gives a completely different feel. The shave from the Rec Supply Council slant adjustable razor is exceptional. It's outstanding. You really have to experience it. It is a pricey razor. I bought mine secondhand, so I didn't have to pay top dollar, and I was very fortunate. And I gotta tell you, still worth every penny. I'm so happy to have this razor. It really is a great adjustable razor. Now, the only shortcoming that I need to point out, that if you do get a Council slant adjustable razor, that you have to be very, very aware when you're loading the blade, because the tabs on the inside of the cap, it's a 2-piece razor now, so that threaded post on the cap is longer so that it fits right into the handle, because the base plate is attached to the handle. It fits right into the handle, much like the Mercure Progress or the Parker variant, that sort of thing, those 2-piece razors. It inserts into the handle, and then, of course, you're screwing it down. But the tabs on the inside of the cap are not quite long enough to where they poke through the inside of that razor blade. So you have to press that razor blade into the cap so that those tabs poke through, so that when you attach the cap to the base plate that's attached to the handle, those tabs line up nicely with the slots in the base plate. Otherwise, you might not have that blade seated correctly. And I've had that happen to me twice now. The first time it happened, I gave myself a pretty good cut, and I didn't, pretty good nick, and I didn't realize that that's what was going on. The second time that happened, it happened on camera, and I started the shave, and I immediately knew that the blade was not seated correctly. And I opened it up, and sure enough, I had to make sure that it was seated correctly. And once I've got everything nicely aligned and nicely seated and secure, wow, what a shave. I mean, it was night and day. It's just absolutely fantastic. A fabulous, fabulous razor, no doubt about it. So you really can't compare a slant adjustable razor to a razor that has plates that you're swapping out. Now, we talked about, just before, we talked about the Blackland Era razor. They had a similar kind of system where you could buy different base plates to change the aggression, the level of aggression for the razor and for your shave. The only difference is Blackland did not include all those base plates with the purchase of a razor. You had to buy each of those base plates separately. The great thing about the Rockwell 6S or 6C is you get them all. You get all 6 levels of aggression, get it all in one package, and there you have it. Right there, it's in front of you. You got it, and you're good to go. This makes the 6C or the 6S an absolutely perfect razor for beginners because they both come in at nice price points. Now, if you want the 6C, you're going to pay half of the 6S. Now, at one time, the 6S was $100 and the 6C was $50. I'd have to check again to see what those prices are. But the 6C is a chrome-plated version, and I'm not sure what the materials are that it's made from. Again, I'll have to check that again. I don't have a 6C. The 6S is stainless steel, and it is made from a casting process, I think. I think they do some casting, and then they do some machining on it, and it's very, very well made. And it was $100. And last time I looked, it was $100. Just know that the 6C is going to be about half price of what the 6S is. So either one of those have some, are a nice price point, so to speak. And if you're looking for a beginner razor for the wet shaver in your life, the 6C, because of its price point and because of having 6 different levels of aggression that you can swap out by using the plates and flipping them around and that sort of thing, absolutely perfect for a beginner because they can find the perfect level of aggression for their shave, work on their technique, and then maybe, let's say they start at the number 2 plate, they work up to the number 3 plate. Maybe then after refining their technique, they can work up to the number 4 plate, that sort of thing. Council, completely different kind of approach. However, any adjustable razor out there, as viewers have mentioned to me, would be a great razor for a beginner because you can just dial it low and go right into your shave and then slowly work your way up to higher levels of aggression to find the perfect level of aggression and efficiency for your particular shave. The only thing you don't want to do with either of these razors is to be tempted to turn them up too high or use too aggressive of a plate without having refined your technique too much. There's always that temptation, and I know that's happened to me when I have done head shaves. I've been tempted to use a razor that is overly aggressive when doing a head shave, and I've gotten a couple of really terrible nicks. If you go back to some of my reviews, some of my Monday morning mailbags, you'll see me with a pretty good nick on my head because I'm using an adjustable razor at too high of a level for shaving my head. For me, being a fair-skinned individual, mild is better for me. And the traditional wet shave, the general rule of thumb is you take your beard down in stages. Don't try to get it all in one fell swoop like cartridge razors advertise. You take it down in stages. A first pass, you relather. A second pass, you relather and do a touch-up or third pass. Do a little bit of buffing as long as you have shave cream protection on your face, that sort of thing. It's a great way to shave. It's a great process. And taking your beard down in stages assures you of a good, clean shave with less irritation, less ingrown hairs and razor bumps and that sort of thing. So that's what I have found. And I just mentioned in the Monday morning mailbag or in a review. Maybe it was a review I did. I think it was a review I'm preparing. I grabbed a cartridge razor with 3 blades, jumped in the shower, and did a head shave because I wanted to get my head shaved. And you know what? I got a couple of razor bumps because I'm either pressing too hard or shaving over an area that didn't have any protection. Whereas if I were to use a safety razor in the shower, it would take me a little longer, but I wouldn't get those razor bumps. So I have to allow for the time, even when I'm going to be doing a morning head shave in the shower. And it just gives me a better result, a longer lasting result. And definitely, I definitely do not get any razor bumps. And the provision here is that I keep it on the mild side. So next time I'm going to use my Supply SE because that's a fantastic, fantastic go-to razor for head shaves. Absolutely. In the shower or in front of the mirror, it's fantastic. Okay, so that kind of wraps up the difference between these two razors. Wally, thanks very, very much for the question. I really do appreciate it. I kind of went off on some tangents there, but I wanted to kind of cover all the bases, and I hope you folks understand. So I hope you're enjoying a coffee. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me and the discussion. Wally, thanks again very, very much for the comment and question. Now, I mentioned loading a razor blade in the console slant adjustable razor, and that brings me to a comment I received from viewer Jimmy V regarding the A-Best razor blades. You know, loading a razor blade reminded me to include his comments regarding the A-Best razor blades because he has some. We talked about these on the Monday morning mailbag, and one of the viewers mentioned these and said they were just a great blade at a great price. I have some. I've tried them. They're wonderful. And Jimmy V has some, and he tried them, and he said, "Hi, Mark. The A-Best blades gave me a great shave in the copper dock. Tomorrow, I'll do a first use in the console, then do second uses in both. I never think it's fair to test a blade on second use in a different razor, but for sure, it is a keeper blade." I agree, Jimmy. It's a definite keeper blade. It is smooth. It is sharp. It performs very, very well. Now, how many shaves I'm going to get out of each blade, I don't know. I think the price again is like $7.99 for 100. What a fantastic price. If you're looking for a good, affordable blade that is platinum coated, very smooth and very sharp, check out the A-Best blades. Absolutely wonderful, wonderful blade. It comes in at a great price point. Now, hang on 1 minute. I'm going to check. I'm going to go right online right now, and I'm going to check to see if that price is still where it should be. As I'm talking to you right now, I'm going to where my orders are, and there they are, 100 A-Best high platinum double-edged razor blades. I'm clicking on the link on Amazon, $7.99 for 100. Really, check them out. They are really, really terrific, terrific razor blades. Jimmy, thanks for confirming. Really do appreciate it. Now, I mentioned in the show that I was going to recommend a movie to you to kind of wrap things up. And seeing as we're in the month of March and St. Patrick's Day is coming up on us very, very quickly. In a couple of weeks, it'll be here before you know it. The movie I'm recommending is The Quiet Man, starring John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara. This was directed by John Ford. This is an absolutely wonderful, wonderful movie. You have to watch this movie. But the really wonderful thing about this movie is a few years ago, they finally did a digital restoration, and the colors of Ireland just pop on the screen. It is remarkable. I have it running right now on my computer screen as I'm talking to you right now. Maureen O'Hara has just shown up for the first time tending her sheep, and she looks beautiful. John Wayne is just taken aback by her beauty. He's just arrived in Ireland, and what a movie. The scenery, the music, the acting, the performances. It's just an amazing movie. It's one that I watch every year right around St. Patrick's Day, obviously. It's terrific. It's a classic, and it's one of my favorite John Wayne movies. It really is terrific. The Quiet Man, starring John Wayne, Maureen O'Hara, directed by John Ford. It's a classic. Make sure that you get the digitally restored version because you will be amazed at how glorious the color is on screen. Again, this is another movie you want to see on as large a screen as possible with the best sound system available. The music, the scenery, the photography, it's all just glorious. The Quiet Man, starring John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara, directed by John Ford, the perfect movie for St. Patrick's Day in the month of March. And that wraps up another Second Cup. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I sure hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, please share, please subscribe, and pass it along to a fellow wet shaver or friend. My thanks to everyone who contributed to today's show. And I mean this sincerely. Without you, this microphone would be silent. If Second Cup or the Monday Morning Mailbag aren't showing up in your regular podcast feed, please drop me a line at mondaymailbag@gmail.com and we'll try to get it all sorted out. So again, thank you all very much. I look forward to getting together with you again on these podcast airwaves. Until then, enjoy the day, enjoy your shave, and enjoy that second cup.